Oh my fucking god. Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Western Wednesdays. We're watching a number of the most beloved and critically acclaimed westerns for the very first time. And today I'm going to be reacting to The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. So I know James Stewart is in this film, and I love James Stewart in The Man from the Army, which I reacted to previously, and link is in the description if you want to check that video out. I know John Wayne is in this film, and I know it's the same director as The Searchers, John Ford, so a lot of big names attached to this film. And I know Lee Marvin is also in it, who I haven't seen in the film before, but obviously I know he's a big name. I've heard his name mentioned quite often. But aside from that, I don't know anything about the film, I don't know anything about the plot, but guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and hit the subscribe button. That'd be fantastic. With that said, let's get into it. I haven't seen a James Stewart film that I didn't enjoy yet. Hopefully this isn't the first one. Lee Marvin, I heard that he was supposed to play Quint originally in Jaws. The train pulling in, oh, it reminds me of High Noon. That was such a prominent component of that film.
Thank you, Jason. On time. You bet.
Is Jimmy?
That senator started and his wife just got off the train. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so he's a senator.
Maybe you'd like to take a ride out Desert Way. Maybe look around.
There's sadness even when both of them are speaking there. That's at least the sense I was getting. Oh, that place is really disheveled. Is that? If they're locals of the town, you would have thought they would have known the man who died.
Tom Donovan? Who was Tom Donovan?
You think he would have waited till he came out, actually?
Friend, Mr. Scott.
Okay, he was a friend.
Fortune. Adventure.
This could be a flashback. I just step back a bit while he's doing that. Ooh. There's a lot of loot, as they say.
My dead husband gave it to me. Please.
Oh, a widow woman, huh? I'll take it anything.
Jesus Christ.
This kind, dude.
Fuck. I'm wondering how many years ago this was. Like this 10 years ago, 20 years ago? It's amazing how sometimes in scenes like this with no music, it actually can be more impactful. It feels more like raw.
Western law.
Jesus. Fucking hell. It's John, isn't it? I wonder, has John Wayne been like a villain in any westerns? I'd be curious to watch him as a villain.
Pick him up, Pompey.
Yeah, it's the guy they met earlier when he was coming into the funeral home.
I don't want a gun. I don't want to kill him.
We're gonna arrest him.
Put him in jail.
Yeah.
Oh.
He sounds so disappointed.
Put Liberty Valance in jail.
Yeah, Liberty. Liberty Valance. You think I'm crazy not to?
Liberty Valance, the toughest man south of the picket wire. Next to me.
Hmm. What the hell did he do that for? Jesus! She's hiding in the shadows. It's terrifying. Oh, so he's working there now. That's a hell of a size of a pan and a piece of meat. It's like a ploy. He's gonna just like implement himself into the town, working as a cook. Maybe waiting for him to come. It's like a cartoon character.
Details, but you do have jurisdiction. It says so right there.
He's not even listening to him. He's looking over at the food.
Maybe you can teach me an English.
Why, sure, Nora. You can be my second pupil. I'll be my first
Maybe he could become a
pupil.
teacher in the town.
You put that thing up, you'll have to defend it with a gun. And you ain't exactly the type. Eating potatoes.
He's a bit of a gobshite. Wonder will they recognize him? They probably will.
Well, these steaks look done just right for us.
Jeez. I know he did shout at the end there, but initially, see how he had such a calm tone? Or instills so much fear.
After all the lying things I hear folks been saying about Liberty Valance.
Oh god, this is going to be interesting.
Looking at the new waitress.
I knew we were going to trip him. Knew it.
I said you, Valance. You pick it up.
Ooh.
My boy Pompey. The kitchen door.
Oh.
I'll get it, Liberty.
Fuck.
You pick it up.
Doesn't seem as confident at the moment.
Now, it's picked up.
I think it's about more than just a steak.
Self a fresh steak on me.
Try it, Liberty.
Holy shit.
Just try it.
He definitely respects John Wayne's character, Tom. God, that was a great scene. It was really, really good. It's their first meeting as well. That was really cool. At least that we saw of them. He definitely doesn't have the same confidence when he's around John Wayne because he sees him as a Jesus Christ. Jesus. But I don't blame the Marshal for being so on edge. I mean, just imagine living with that as the ways of people. You know, you would be thinking like, what the fuck? Does everything have to go just pull the gun?
It's all over. Nobody got hurt.
It is not all over, and everybody here knows it.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be more incidences like that.
I'm staying, and I'm not buying a gun either.
Oh, good luck, Pilgrim.
It's very intriguing as the way this is all playing out now. Is that symbolic of him walking away, of her thinking like, I actually don't want maybe to marry him? Ah, so yeah, he is teaching. I grew up, it was,
I say a couple more.
now I know my ABC, next time won't you sing with me?
Hallie, you go find Tom and make it up to him. He's only trying to protect you.
Jeez, I was not expecting him to say that.
Rance?
I don't think she's not just fearful of him having a duel with Liberty, that are a lot different. I think that she likes, and if he goes down that road, she probably thinks he'll become like Tom.
Balance it light in your hands. And don't jerk the trigger.
You don't have to coach me.
It's like people who use remotes and sometimes they feel they have to go to get to change the channel. Why couldn't you just show fucking hell?
I hate tricks, Pilgrim. But that's what you're up against with Valance.
Maybe he's trying to get that aggression out in him. That he needs to get tough.
I nominate Tom Donovan.
You see, like, even though he's had his own issues with him, he's going about it in an honest way. Oh, he's gonna see that. He's gonna be pissed.
Father Confessor, what else am I?
But don't vote anyway now. That you'll regret later when you're alone.
Favor of Ransom Stoddard as delegate. Raise your hand.
I like they just spoke over that, ignored it almost.
Liberty Valance, raise your hand.
Tom enjoyed that a lot.
Now you stay out of this, Donovan. He's been hiding behind your gun long enough. You got a choice.
Well, he has his own gun now.
Ain't gonna be no school anymore anyway. With you leaving tonight.
Is he leaving now? Liberty's gonna be in there. Yeah. Somebody aside from Ransom or... Oh, fuck's sake. Fuck's sake. I mean, as a town, you would get sick of this crap, wouldn't you, really? I'm glad they didn't have the Marshal say anything kind of silly in that scene, because it was a very serious scene. Getting his gun. You can see it's starting to... The effect that Ransom's having on the town is happening, where the doctor there is saying, almost standing up to him. Even though he's looking around there, he looks flustered, kind of like almost like a little suffocated. Oh my fucking god. That's exactly like what Tom did to him. He said that would happen. Jesus Christ. It's like, I know he doesn't die, but I'm still on edge. It's so weird. What the fuck?
Whiskey, quick.
No, partook in a duel, but it's not who he is, and she probably knows that. Yeah, I knew he just. They're nothing without liberty.
Home.
He needs to drown his sorrows because he doesn't have a home with his what would have been his wife. Because probably living in it now would just be a reminder of like that he didn't get her.
Back, Pilgrim.
He's gonna say he did it.
Valance.
All right, dude.
Oh shit!
Right between.
I did not see that coming. But why didn't he just tell him in the first place then? That was big of him. Very big of him. The cactus.
Nothing's too good for the man who shot Liberty Valance.
Oh wow! It just hit me that yeah. Okay, so I just got done watching The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, and I thought this was a really impressive film. First off, James Stewart, I haven't yet to see a film of his that I haven't really enjoyed. The Man from Laramie, as done in the previous video, I loved. I've seen a few of his films with Hitchcock, and I've really enjoyed them, so I'm going to have to watch a lot more of his westerns, definitely. What I really liked about the film, there's many things I liked about it, but I have to say, now this isn't to take anything away from the other actors in the film, but James Stewart I think is so good that if you take him out of the film, I think you lose quite a bit of the quality, and he brings a lot to it. You know, the fact him coming into the town and his kind of rejection of you know, gunslaying and using the gun and violence that they, you know, killing each other essentially to settle disagreements. You know, you kind of feel like him, thrown into that world, like, because it's alien to you as well, like, you know, being in a world where everything has to be settled through gunfights and through, you know, duels. So you really do identify and relate to him in that sense. And also the fact that he's trying to bring a change to the town, you know, he's teaching the people. There's a real clash with Tom, but also with Liberty Valance. Also, I'll just mention Lee Marvin. I think he, as a villain, is fantastic. Just every scene he's in, he just stands out. You know, he's a great, he's a fantastic screen presence. You know, every time he's there, you really do kind of feel, you know, you feel the character's fear when he's there. Particularly in the first scene where he attacks James Stewart, the first scene where we meet him, and also the scene in the restaurant cafe, you know, when he's serving the food, and there's that altercation between Tom, John Wayne's character, and Lee Marvin's character. That actually was one of the best scenes in the film, that whole face off between them. Also just the whole use of silence at times in scenes, you know, we see it, or not so much, well, silence, but also the lack of music a lot of the time in really kind of intense scenes. And I think the decision to not go with music really added to it, like with the showdown between Ransom and Liberty. The scene when we find when Watchcall is attacked, the editor guy, when he's attacked by Liberty and his group, these two guys. Also at the beginning when Ransom is attacked at the stage, when they're in the carriage, that scene as well. All the time they use the lack of music. It was an interesting choice, but I think it really worked. And I think it was very cool that, like, John Wayne's character in this western, particularly as we got to the end of it, the sacrifice essentially that Tom, John Wayne's character, makes, basically giving up the girl that he loves, but also saving Ransom's life by being the one that actually did shoot Liberty. That whole revelation was really, really well done. I did not see that coming, and it really added a great layer to his character. You know, and I think in a way, I know he ended up being the one that killed Liberty, but we don't see a lot of him in the film as a whole. He's missing for large chunks of it. I think it in some ways, I think the film is better for it. As I said, I think James Stewart, he is the star, and he is the one that really makes the film work. But particularly in the last half hour or so, John Wayne's character really comes to the fore. And of course, Lee Marvin's character as a villain is really good. And then the whole thing with Holly and that kind of dynamic, that love triangle with Ransom, Tom, and Holly, that was really well done too. And again, she's kind of between two, the old ways with Tom or the new way with Ransom. and that whole dynamic was really interesting as well and added to it. But obviously it's the second John Ford film I've watched as well, and I definitely would rate this higher than The Searchers. I thought this was a really, really good film. I really enjoyed it. Probably fourth again. Man from the Army still in top place. Then Big Country, then One Eyed Jacks, but I would have this not far behind, and definitely one of the best ones I've watched so far. But let me know in the comments. I'd really like to know your thoughts on that, on the film as a whole. But until next time, guys, slán go fóill.